Good morning or good evening YouTube, I'm back here with another video, and today we're taking a look at Liuli 7, the poison boss here. It's the Monday boss, it's the poison tag, and it's Liuli 7. I'm just gonna explain real quickly here which kind of hero you wanna have and what the meta team is at the moment. And obviously you probably don't have the meta team, but then you'll have to do with the best you can. And I'll also explain what that is, okay? And maybe you're not even in the Liuli 7. I think you can apply some of these tactics here to 6 also. But I can't really remember the Liuli 6 boss ability, to be honest. It's been so long now with the Liuli 7 that I forgot the 6. But let's just focus on 7 because that is what I am focusing on in this video here. So first of all, here we can see that the boss requires you to have some kind of removal. And you also need some counter attack. And why is that? I'm going to briefly explain it here, what you need and why you need it. It's not going to take long, so stay a while and listen, okay? So first of all here, the spinning fan that she does will reduce your mastery by 56% at the end of each turn. And she's going to put this temptation buff on you, debuff on you, and it can only be dispelled or removed if you counter attack her, okay? And this is where the counter attack buff comes into play. It's to remove the mastery debuff on your allies. Okay, so that's very nice. But what about the removal then? Well, the next part here, Incarnation of Fox, is where you need the removal. So basically, Moshi here is going to put this Power of Fox buff onto herself. And it can be, as I say here in the parenthesis, right? It can be removed, but it cannot be stolen or blocked. So you need heroes that can remove buffs, not steal buffs, but remove them, okay? That's very important. It's a big difference here. And when she's under this Power of the Fox here, if you don't remove it, what is going to happen is her damage is going to be increased by 66%, that's a lot, but she's also going to gain 4 layers of this powerful might when she casts her Incarnation of Fox. Basically, what it means is that she's gonna get to 20 or 21 layers of this powerful might first, very quickly, and when she gets to 20 or 21 layers of this, she's going to slay your entire team. So to give yourself as many turns as possible, you want to remove her buff, and also remove her damage, obviously, so you don't take as much damage. Now, the second part where you also need removal is here. She's gonna gain 3 layers of this Fox Shield, and for every 1 layer of Fox Shield owned, reduces damage taken by Moshi by 33%. Fox Shield can be removed, but only 1 layer of Fox Shield will be removed by each enemy before she casts the Incarnation of Fox next time. So basically, even if you have just Giselle, for example, right? She has a buff strip on her S4. She can remove the buff. But she's only one ally, she's only one like a person, right? So you'll still have 2 more layers that you can't remove if you only have Giselle, which means that Moshi will take 66% less damage, no matter what you do, okay? And that's a lot, so you want to have heroes that will also remove buffs. Now let's take a look at those heroes. Alright, so we're back here, we're in the gallery, we've sorted it by removal and poison tag, okay? And these are the only 3 heroes in the game at the moment that has both the poison tag, which is required obviously for the poison boss, and removal function. It's Giselle, it's Kadrian, and it's Sheena. You need all 3 heroes in your team if you want to do 100% damage. So basically, as you can see here, Sheena for me is grayed out. That means I don't have her. So once I get Sheena into my team, my damage just by getting her into the team will actually increase by 33%. Doesn't even matter what she does, she just needs to remove a buff, and then my damage will be increased by 33%. Or at least Moshi will take 33% more damage. So that is very nice, right? But it also means that it's kinda like it's very specific heroes that you need for the Liuli 7 to really do like the top, right? You want to have the top damage, you need these heroes here, and you need all 3 of them for the Liuli 7. Obviously they can add more heroes in the future with the removal tag, but right now you only have 3 choices. And I also think that this is why when Sheena got implemented into the game, the damage of the poison team rise a lot, right? And that's because now we can remove all the layers of the debuff or the buff, right? Now, the other part is you want to have poisoned hero with counter attack, and we have 2 choices that are very nice. Actually 3 choices. We have Willa, we have Kalana, and we have Sheena. I'm not going to talk about this guy, and the reason is that he puts the counter attack buff on himself and not for the allies, okay? But if you take a look at the Willa here, who is a very cheap hero to get and very common in some of the banners. I think a lot of you probably have Willa. She's pretty easy to get as a free-to-play, I think. But she has this S2 here where she applies a counter attack buff on allies. If they do some poison damage, they get this counter attack buff and they can counter attack, which removes the mastery debuff from Mosi. So pretty nice, right? Kalana has something similar here in her passive. It says here that once Kalana is going to be attacked by basic attack or skills, other allies will counter attack the caster once. So basically, you hit Kalana, all the allies will hit the boss. So it's basically the same, right? And then we have Sheena. Sheena counter attack is only for herself, and it's down here in the E1 here. You need exclusive 1 for this to work on her, okay? It says here that she will counter attack the attacker once when she takes some damage, okay? So the best one here for group ability is definitely Kalana and Willa, and then Sheena for its counter attack. And I would say that Kalana is probably best, also because I think Willa is the next one from the poison team to be removed from the meta. But these are the heroes that you need, and that is required for you to do very nice. So let's see how it looks in battle. Alright, this is my team. Because I don't have Sheena, I'm using Penny instead for the speed buff, right? Once I get Sheena at some point, I will use Sheena obviously for the speed buff and the mastery buff and all the other stuff that she's giving. But right now I'm using this team here. I'm also using the Griffin pet here to try and stay alive. And let's just go into the battle and see what it looks like. Okay, so first of all here we're gonna go and just click it onto auto here. I've already set my presets up here, and we're gonna see the buff on the hero here. I'm gonna show you in a minute here. I think Mosi might start out with the stuff here, and you can actually see Mosi here if she has any buffs on her. Doesn't really look like it. I think she's not having it yet here. She's gonna do it in a minute here, I think. Let's just see. It's the next turn here. Is the Incarnation of Fox is the one that is on cooldown at the moment. So we want to have her cycle onto that, I think. Let's just see here if we can do something here. And we have a lot of speed in this team here, luckily for us. So let's see if we are speed tuned for this one here. So let's see. Alright, so we're gonna put it down here. Not on this one. I'm gonna put it on remove the auto here. Actually, just do like this here. Let's see. I think she should get her turn now, right? Let's see here. I just want to show you the buff, how it looks like. So there she did the Fox shield here, and you can see on Mosi now she has, look at this here, she has 3 of these things here, and this is what you want to remove with the removal, okay? And one hero removes 1 layer. You want to remove all 3 of these layers here, okay? And you also want to remove with this one here, the Fox buff, and then yeah, I think that is very good. Okay, so for Kalana, for example, he doesn't have removal. This guy here, he does have removal. Does he have it on his basic attack? He does not. You can see she's still on 3. She's still on 3 here. We didn't remove it yet, so which means that we're not doing the maximum damage that we could do. Let's see here. Maybe she can do. Can she remove? We removed 1 actually, so we have now just 2 layers left, but she's still taking a lot of damage here, right? So let's put this here, and now you can see I removed another layer. And let's just put this buff here. And let's see. Okay, let's see here. So we're just gonna put it on auto. And you can see she still has 1 layer here. So like for my speed tuning, for example, it could be a bit better. I could optimize this here for sure, so that I always have the removal skills ready for when Mosi is taking her turn, right? But as I say that, I remember I do not have Sheena. That is true. So once I get Sheena, I can remove the last layer of this buff here, okay? And that is what I wanted to to explain. Yeah, so you can see here they still have 1 layer left, and that's because I don't have Sheena in my team. But if I get Sheena, I can remove the last layer and she will be taking 33% more damage. Right now she has some damage reduction on her, right? She didn't have that for the first 2 turns, but now she has it. And we can't remove it because we don't have Sheena. But that is what you want to do for your team, is try to get as many heroes into your team that can remove buffs, okay? Because you want to remove that so you can maximize your damage. You can see that I'm doing a lot of counter attack here. I don't have any debuffs on myself. It's not really an issue. You can see that she's applying the debuff to my heroes, but then I counter attack and I remove it and I get all my mastery back. So it's not really an issue for me. And that is also what I wanted to show you about the counter attack. Now you can see I have the buff here. It's the little heart there, and you can see that I'm counter attacking and I'm removing the buff here, and it just instantly goes away, and we have the opportunity to once again heal up. But of course we can't do full damage without Sheena. But let's just let the run here go a bit further, and then we can see the end result. And I'm back here at the end screen result. You can see that this is how it went. Actually, I've not really watched my fight in a very long time, and both Penny and actually Giselle and Kadrian died here with around 2 turns left, 3 turns left. So I think I could have gotten more damage in if I had more survivability, which is kind of interesting to be honest. But anyways, let's look at the damage. You can see here that Giselle and Kadrian are doing pretty much the same damage actually. And that is why I always recommend getting Kadrian if you can. He is very good on bosses. Alright guys, I hope you learned something from this video here, and if not, then well, maybe the next video you will learn something, right? Let me know in the comments down below guys if you have any tips or tricks here to optimize the poison team. Maybe you found some cool echoes or some arcane gems or something. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Cheers, bye.